morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at what is going on with the Pokémon Center restocks. You see, there were some restocks that went up on the Pokémon Center yesterday. Now, sadly, they were US restocks. But we need to talk about these because they were entirely unexpected. I think trying to guess the list of things that went back up would have been borderline impossible. But it does kind of suggest that maybe we should be excited for these kind of things in the future. Because by now, right, we're all pretty used to getting messages from our friends or seeing tweets from people saying, there's a Pokémon Center queue. And we all know what that means now. We go on the Pokémon Center, we now get greeted by that Psyduck, and it tells us how long it's going to be. It is not actually real, but it varies around for a little while, and eventually we get into the Pokémon Center, and that's lovely. And most of the time, we look at it, and, you know, like the last couple before this were the Ascended Heroes Booster Bundle, which we were kind of expecting. That's the kind of thing that goes up as a Pokémon Center drop. And then actually the day before that, we had the Pokémon Center exclusive Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer box, which was just wonderful if you weren't traveling back from LAIC, because that was a bit of a problem. And then you got to go and get that Elite Trainer box and things were good. Wonderful. But that's not what the drop was yesterday. Yesterday, it was a weird drop, a different drop, and I've checked with a few people who have confirmed me that this was a drop in the US, and there were a bunch of products. Now, a couple of them were fairly standard. Take the Charizard EX Super Premium Collection. Now, this is actually a product I've talked about quite a lot on this channel. And it's one that I've recommended on a number of occasions. You get yourself a big fat Charizard model which holds a card, and for scale that is a full-size Pokemon card, you see. And then you get yourself free promos which are kind of hollow versions of the Charmander and the Charmeleon, and an alternate art of Charizard EX. It is an alternate art, but it's just a regular alternate art. It's not a full art or a special illustration rare or anything along those lines. It's just a quote-unquote regular one. Alright, cool product. The thing is, this might have been restocked on the Pokémon Center, and it was, incidentally, but this is also a product that I've seen restocked at local stores around me in the not too distant past, and it's become something which is pretty easy to pick up. You know, Magic Madhouse, not a site with which I'm affiliated, but it's just serving as an example here. They've actually got it up there for below retail, just in stock right now. So having that going up is kind of nice, but this wasn't exactly some product where we were desperate to have a restock of it, and this one lasted, you know, a while compared to what we see from a lot of them. Okay. We then had the Shrouded Fable Booster Bundle, which also took a little while to sell out. And this is very much kind of a halfway house kind of product. It wasn't a case of, oh my goodness, did you see what went up on the Pokémon Center? Just a Booster Bundle of Shrouded Fable. But by the same token, Booster Bundles of Shrouded Fable, just 6 packs for the price of 6 packs. Are not exactly something that we see just constantly in stock everywhere at the moment. So, it's kind of cool. Not amazing, not perfect. You know, Chaos Cards have got them listed for £38 right now. That is above retail, just to be clear. Pretty sure the retail should be like £26.94, £27, because that's £4.49 times 6. So, yeah, it's a little bit above retail, but it is still there for a not completely over-the-top ridiculous price. I don't love buying stuff above retail. I don't think anybody does. And this is not available at retail right now, but it's not a million miles away. But these were the less exciting products that ended up getting restocked, because Pokemon went and did a restock of a couple of products that did make me double take and go, hang on a second, in what world are they going back up on the Pokemon Center? And one of them was the Crown Zenith Premium Playmat Collection. Yeah. Now, Crown Zenith's a weird one because that was a set for, honestly, a while It was just readily available. Like, this was a set that you could pick up pretty easily, pretty readily, without much issue for quite a while. Initially on release was a bit of a pain, but this one just got printed over and over and over and over again. And I think we kind of got to the point of this where, and this has not been the way for a little while, but it did actually end up not ridiculous to get hold of. And then we ended up with things like the Lugia Unknown Crown Zenith collection, which ended up in GameStop, which was kind of a new product. And then at one point we had booster bundles, which were not initially part of the lineup. And then we all got super excited about the Sam's Club exclusive Sea and Sky Premium Collection, which came out long after the actual release of the set. But seeing it come around right now is frankly a little bit weird. Because this Premium Playmat collection, this came out in April 2023. That's not like 2 2/3 years ago. Not far off being a 3-year-old product. And now it's just randomly appearing on the Pokémon Center? That's bizarre. Basically, you got yourself a Morpeko V Union, and then a Jumbo Morpeko V Union. This was a character rare version with Marnie on the artwork, and then just like a full-on playmat. And the playmats, incidentally, for a while were like really cheap, but then obviously kind of after a while they got a bit harder to get hold of, as you might imagine. But make no mistake about it, this is a product which, like, this was done. Like 2 years ago this was done. Now, to be fair, it's a $40 product that only comes with 5 packs of Crown Zenith, because you get the Morpeko stuff and the Marnie playmat and all of that. But seeing this for retail in 2025 is absolutely absurd. And obviously, one of the lessons to learn here is, if you see a Pokémon Center queue, at this point, probably worth joining. Like, genuinely, every time I get a message from one of my friends saying, hey, what's it, there's a queue gone up, I just jump in the queue. And sometimes I get to the front and it's sold out, sometimes I get to the front and I don't want it. But one of the lessons from this video should be, I think at this stage, we have no idea what is going up, and so we should maybe prepare. Like, we had a Pokemon Center queue yesterday in the UK, and it was for the Combined Powers box. The Combined Powers Premium Collection, which is a fun enough product with those new cards that were in the TCG Classic and all of that, but really, not even close. Boo! Because there was actually one other thing that went up on the Pokémon Center yesterday over in the US. It was the Lucario Vstar Premium Collection. And to be clear, this and the Crown Zenith Playmat Collection, yeah, they did not last very long at all, ladies and gentlemen. They were they were gone pretty quickly. But this is another product. Like, this came out in April 2022. That's not nearly 3 years ago. That's nearly 4 years ago. And apparently they're just randomly restocking it on here. As a side note, it was the US version, not the British version or the European version, which is actually kind of important because the US version did come with 6 booster packs rather than 5, and it came with a coin that we didn't get in Europe. So, yeah, it was a pretty much a better product just all around, honestly. And look, this is a product from 2022. I don't know what the pack selection is going to be like. I don't know if it's going to be a bunch of Sword and Shield packs, latter Sword and Shield packs, which is what we had last time because that's when it released, and they are old sets now, or whether it's going to be something more recent because it's a restock. I mean, these old products like this, they strike me as, hey, Bill, look what we found in the warehouse. Stick them up on the Pokemon Center. Someone will buy them. And they were right, incidentally. Someone will buy them. I don't know. I cannot tell you. But I do get the idea that maybe these were kind of, a couple boxes were found somewhere rather than Pokemon actually put these into production. I cannot for the life of me imagine that in December 25, Pokemon decided that the Lucario Vstar Premium Collection and the Crown Zenith Morpeko V Union Premium Playmat Collection were actually the products they thought were the most relevant to stock. I think it honestly was just, and I don't know, I'm purely guessing here, but I think that was just a case of somebody found some stock lying around. But there's a couple of reasons I'm making this video today. One is this is cool and I thought you should know about it. Number two is a very genuine piece of advice. The Pokémon Center and what is getting randomly restocked on there is getting weird. So get into a group with your friends to warn each other when you see these things going up and jump in the queue when you see them. Because if these things can go up on the Pokémon Center, there's plenty of other things that can as well. Things could keep being wild. Things could get more wild. We don't know. So, maybe prepare. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I've told you the deal. I've told you what's going on, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about these. Did any of you get in on this? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Martin Cornwall, who's been a support of ours for a long time now, since it was a podcast back in 2012, and is a thoroughly lovely chap. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.